Okay, so I was trying to go live for like the last 10 minutes and it's not working. So I'll just do this. This is a video that's going to be pre-recorded or whatever. And I wanted to talk about something very important. Now, like I said, this video will be pre-recorded or whatever. So the people that have any baths, any herbal packs, any type of reading schedule or anything like that that I have to ship to y'all, you guys will get it Friday. Friday, the day of Venus. Okay? Okay. So, what am I on here talking about, right? Excuse me, I had to swallow. But anyway, so I wanted to bring up the topic of this New Age to Jesus type of thing. And I wanted to give my opinion on it. Now, I'm not here to bash anybody. I'm not here to... Usually I be on here to talk shit, but I'm not for this. I'm not here for that. Right? So a lot of people basically, like, if you don't know what it is, a lot of newbies that are in the path of spirituality, African traditional religions, hoodoo, and I guess you could say some sex and Wicca, witchcraft and all that. A lot of people that are finding their footing in a lot of these spiritual concepts and practices, some of them are going back to organized religion, you know? And while we have the Mercury retrograde already in effect, it's kind of a good time to think about, like, what led you on this path, like finding the root of some things, or it could even be some issues about, you know, your life, like how did you lead here, you know. And I thought that's something to really reflect on, and a lot of people aren't kind of touching bases on that, and I kind of wanted to bring awareness to that, you know. But those who know me know that I've been on this path for maybe like a good while, maybe like 5-6 years. I had my ups and downs. I had my transformations out of this, and I've had my questionings. I had them all, right? Where are you getting with this, Papa Ken? Well, because like I said earlier, because a lot of newbies, hell, you can consider me a newbie, because sometimes it really doesn't matter. Like, it really takes for you to be in this practice a good while before you can actually say, okay, now I got it. You know what I mean? And on my journey, I have dealt with grieving, you know, from certain family members passing, ins and outs of transforming, you know, recent vehicles, you know, in and out, you know, jobs, back and forth, you know what I'm saying? It's just a lot, right? And one would think, like, especially if you are melanated, or if you feel that you're not necessarily where you want to be around this time, that, okay, a lot of things will cause you to question and say, okay, what about my path? What about the things that I'm going through? Maybe I'm not supposed to be here. Maybe I'm not supposed to be doing hoodoo. Maybe I'm not supposed to be burning candles. With that in mind, and on top of the fact that this New Age to Jesus type of thing is kind of going around and making itself known, it will have a lot of people to be like, you know what? Maybe I should go back to Jesus. Maybe I should just give myself back to Christ and go back to what I know. Now, I'm a stickler, and I believe wholeheartedly about go for what you know. You know what I'm saying? I don't give a damn. Go for what you know. If you have to go back and say, you know what, some things wasn't working out, maybe I should get back into church, maybe I should get back into prayer. I wouldn't say that you're doing yourself a disservice, but I would be the little brother, I would be the mentor, or the type of person to tell you maybe you should take your time on it. Because at the end of the day, a lot of people are going to say what I do shouldn't really make a difference to anyone else, or it's my business. You know what I'm saying? What I want to do is what I want to do, and you can't stop me for that. True, very true. But what I give with that is the argument of this: if you know that this specific religion wasn't helping you in the first place, why would you go back? And that's what kind of gets me with the new age to Jesus thing, because a lot of people are out here finding that the crystals, the lapis lazuli, the amulets, the protection, the tarot cards, the ancestral altars that these people are setting up are actually helping them. Now, what's causing these people to go back and say, I'm done with it all, and to go back to just one specific modality of spirituality? Because at the end of the day, although it is organized religion, it is some aspects out of Christianity, baptism, Catholicism. There's some aspects in these religions that are very well and deep into the occult. Don't believe me? Find out why the Pope is praying to the Black Madonna. Find out why in certain religions are very similar to certain Catholic ceremonies. And I promise you'll be like, you know what, he's right. And this is not for me, like, again, this is not me to bash anyone. This is not me being joke an asshole. This is me actually giving y'all the tea. Okay? A lot of the practices that are steeped within Christianity are based from ATRs. A lot of them are based from hoodoo. Hell, astrology is a little bit older. I wouldn't even say a little bit. It's way older than Christianity itself. Hell, even some of the African traditional based religions that I and a lot of people are in come from. But it's way older than that. And like I said earlier, the only argument that I give out of that is, why go back to something that you know wasn't helping you? You're giving yourself a disservice. Now, like I said, I'm not giving anyone a bashing moment. I'm not here to gatekeep. I don't even know what that is. But a lot of people will find that the things that they're doing are not in proper protocol. B, there was something that they were doing that was even in spiritual concepts that they know they shouldn't have been doing, that they know they should have been finding a little bit more research on. Take your time going to your ancestors and actually taking out the proper time to execute some rituals, to execute a proper candle ritual. They know in hell, I'm 28, right? For me to actually tell you that there are certain things that I won't do, that should give you something. Quite honestly. That should give you something. That should say, you know what? Instead of me being out here just to throw it at everybody, or instead of me being out here and spying on people using ESP or what else? I'm trying to think of another topic. dominating this man or putting sugar in a bowl for this female, I could take my time and actually do things right, because now a lot of people nowadays, they don't like to do things the right way. And this is coming from someone who can be very lazy, especially when it comes to doing the right thing, especially when it comes to actually facing the mirror and saying I have problems, or to say, you know what, I may need a little help. We're coming into a generation of a lot of people that don't have mentors. They don't listen to the people that are actually telling them what's real and what's right. Now, mind you, like I say, I'm only 28. I'm not, I wouldn't dare consider myself an elder or or a guru. That's not for me. But I can say, in a community that I have grown to love and to be more humble in, I found myself in certain situations where, you know, if I didn't have my candles, if I didn't have my head washes, if I didn't have my floor washes, if I didn't have my tarot cards, if I didn't have my channeling, if I didn't have my amulets, I would not be where I am now. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. If I never went through certain things, I would never get to this point in my life and say, the reason why some of us go to tarot cards is not just to find out gossip. It's not just to sit here and say, I feel bad because everybody else is treating me a particular way, and I just want to lash out at everybody. No. Thank God for growth. I will say that. Thank God and Goddess for growth. Because I have had my cycles when I started out in my journey, when I could easily be like, you know what, they're the problem, it's not me. And I'm telling you now, even in being an ATR like Paulo, or finding a particular path like hoodoo, or even going to my ancestors, that it really humbles a lot of people. And what it is nowadays, they can't handle the work that's involved with an altar. They can't handle the they can't handle the real instances when it comes to transformation. They can't handle I like to walk, y'all. They can't handle what's being told to them. They don't like to listen and say, okay, this man is not for you. You shouldn't be with them. You shouldn't. You need to find someone else. And usually, excuse me, that's usually the main cause for a lot of practitioners to be out here to say, you know what, I can't do this anymore. I'm going to go somewhere else. And I guarantee you, them will be the main ones to keep following a particular path, to follow this one, to follow that. Not saying that you shouldn't find your footing in your spiritual paths. I'm not saying that. But what I am saying is, the people that don't have a good footing in their foundation, they don't know why the Wiccans were using the pentagrams for earth, air, fire, and spirit. They didn't know that all were connected. They didn't know that when banishing, that you need to cleanse yourself. They didn't know. And here's one thing that is going to shock a lot of people. They didn't know that you had to do shadow work. Now me particularly, because I still get told this myself. You cannot beat yourself up that damn hard. And I'm guilty of that. I will not lie. I can be very guilty of that. I can be very self-critical, or I can really beat myself up at times. But it really, once you really sit down and think about it, a lot of people do not they don't do the work that's needed, especially when it comes to shadow work. And what shadow work is basically finding out the root causes of what you're doing. Like, why are you going through these cycles? Why are these people in your life showing up as a representation only in a negative aspect? Why are you not setting up boundaries? Why are you being a particular asshole when it comes to this man or this female? It's because you don't know self-awareness like you think you should. You know, a lot of people are very surprised when it comes to that. And what gets me is they go somewhere else and they demonize a particular religion or a path that they were once in. You can't do that. You can't do that, because when you do happen to talk down on the, I guess, the particular path that you were in, what it's going to do is that's going to have the spirits connected to this particular path and say, oh, so you feeling froggy. Oh, you holier than thou. So it wasn't us that you came to whenever you were on your knees and you were asking us to bring you this particular meal. It wasn't us that you came to ask for this particular blessing. You didn't come. You mean to tell me you didn't come to us and ask for this job? That's a disservice. That's a disservice to the certain, like I said, certain spirits that you were so in love with, that you needed to talk to, that you just had to have around you. The statues that you blessed, that you put salt and water and certain oils on for you to talk to them. And now it's like, oh, fuck them. That's exactly what's going on. So with that new age to Jesus thing, to me it's weird, because when I think on my life and I think on when I was in religion or an organized religion, of course I felt guilty. Of course I felt the need to be like, you know what? And me being a young black gay male, nowadays it's hard. It's hard for us because we're already not accepted in one part of society, but to be this particular, and I hate to say it, to be this particular color of the skin, to be very different is already taboo. So I do feel that a lot of people should still be out here soul searching, even if you call yourself an influencer, even if you do have the clout, I guess I'll say. Even if you have the clout, or if you're really out here doing the work, sometimes it's not going to be recognized. You're not going to be popular because why? Like I said, this is a taboo topic. A lot of people grew up being shunned, and some even killed back in the day for having these particular practices around them. I'ma just be real, you know. And why is it that when it comes to the societal norms of new, you know, social media, that most people have to go back and say, you know what, I fucked up. Let me go to what I know. Let me go to what's comfortable. Let me do something that I know will give me right. First of all, to me, doing that is something out of there, because for me, when I was coming up and I had my certain fucked up days, or if I knew I was in the wrong, I would automatically feel guilty. So to me, with this new age of Jesus, like, you know, going back to what you know, especially out of organized religion, to me is something that you haven't dealt with. There's some guilty part of you that is eating at you and eating at you and eating at you, and you're like, you know what, fuck it, I might as well just go back to sit on the pews and listen to what the preachers say. Because half the time these preachers these prophets, these masters, these pastors, and these prophetesses are doing the exact same thing if they're not going to certain practitioners. I'm gonna just be 100. Some of these people that you guys are putting on a pedestal are doing the exact same thing in the Christian sect of religion. They're doing the exact same thing. So hopefully the people that are actually talking about it, because some of the people that started, I do believe that there was a trend even way before this year. Y'all remember when Doreen Virtue, like the tarot card maker, producer, she made hella cards, oracle decks, tarot cards, you name it, she made it, right? But she went back and was like, you know what, all these things are evil, get it away from me, I'm done, right? And a lot of people actually show support to her. But even then, I think that there was still something out of that, because it's like, even if you're going back to Jesus, why are you announcing it on a public? And I get on a public platform as Instagram, YouTube, and all this, but now she's making something with Jesus on there, prayer cards, which prayer cards that have been used in spirituality for the dawn of time. If you guys pay attention to the older work of certain root workers, they will put prayer cards in certain mojo bags, I guess you'll say. Most people will use a lot of the saints in their services, I myself included. I love Santa Muerte, love her down, you know what I mean? And you don't hear it. Well, and that's another thing, you don't hear none of the spirits saying, you know, maybe you should go back to Jesus Christ. Maybe you should go back to praying and getting on your knees and to confessing your sins when you know you haven't done anything since you were born. You don't hear any spirit actually going to you and saying, you know what, you're guilty, I can't fuck with you. You don't hear no spirit saying that. And it's weird, because why would you run? And again, this is not to bash anyone, but why would you run back to these mind control tactics, I'll say, to fit on someone else's norm, or to fit someone else's way of thinking? Because at the end of the day, that's really falls down to is you're not necessarily doing something for yourself. It's based on someone else. It's based on someone else. So hopefully the people that are growing in their spiritual topics, or growing in their spiritual path, are really walking away from that and not feeling tempted to say, you know what, all this hard work that I've done, all these practices that I have put blood, sweat, and tears in, that I'm not going to just give up. For one thing, you can't give up. You can't just take something that you know is millions of years old, hell, even probably even worse than that, probably even longer than that, and say, you know what, I'm going to walk away and I'm going to go something familiar, or something that's more comfortable in the eyes of society, if that makes sense. But doing that, it won't really help you, because at the end of the day, you're still gonna know some rituals. You're still gonna be like, you know what, while I'm sitting on this pew here, I could be meditating. And I have heard some people, you know, even in different social media outlets, to go back to Jesus and all that. That's cool, that's fine, that's dandy. Hey, do you, boo boo? But like I said, there will be a moment where it's almost like a phantom nerve that is going to come up again. That's going to say, you know what? I have a candle here. I need some incense. Ooh, I need benzoin and resin just to you know, just pop it off. You know what I'm saying? And when you do that, you know what I'm saying, what are you going to do then? What are you going to do when you light that candle and you still have manifestations coming to you and you're still in the Christian sect though? What are you going to do? Call yourself a Christian witch? I hate for you to do that, especially with Miss Earlene sitting next to you and she's already judging you from the time you walk in that particular church or Muslim or mosque or whatever. They're already judging you. So a lot of the newbies that have gotten into the path and they're finding, you know, crystals are amazing. They love sage. They like Palo Santo, the way it smells. They're praying 5, 6, 7 times a day, and it may feel like they're not getting anywhere. That's basically a road blockage, and you're gonna have to do shadow work in order to keep it moving. You're gonna have to include these things in your transformation, because what it is, these people are getting stuck and they're not knowing where to go. And they also need mentors. Man, listen. Thank God for the people that have walked in and out of my life. Because had they not, I'm pretty sure I would still be that same little boy that would get mad instantly when someone has to walk away, or I didn't know exactly why I'm seeing these things in my dreams, or I'm not understanding why I can just automatically pick up on certain things and other people can't. Thank God for mentors. And what it is, these people on these certain platforms, they're finding out that, hey, I can talk about this, or hey, I could post this and I get an automatic following. Cool and all, but at the end of the day, these followers are these people that are riding and dying for you. They're not going to be the same people that will walk with you when you say, oh, well, I made a particular decision and I'm no longer in hoodoo. They're not going to do that. So hopefully y'all are finding the right people to be around y'all. And if not, just walk away from these people. Because I guarantee you, you're being fed bullshit. You're being fed bullshit. And you're falling for it. You know? Find you a mentor. Start with that ancestor altar. Start praying more. And give reverence and respect and honor to your creator. But you don't have to just bash something else because you didn't find a particular breakthrough with it. You know what I mean? So hopefully all this made sense. Papa Ken signing out. Peace, love, and light, hair grease, and all that. Bye, y'all.